Good morning, everyone. Here I am back with the third video for the revision of the circulatory system. In this video, we will be going through the hepatic circulation, the renal circulation, and the pulmonary circulation, as well as we will be doing a brief overview of the lymphatic system as well. Now, the components of the hepatic circulation include the hepatic artery, the hepatic portal vein, and the hepatic vein. Now, hepato is a term that refers to the liver. Now, hepatic portal vein is the first structure that we are going to discuss. So let us first understand the definition of a portal vein. Now, generally, we have studied that arteries divide and finally terminate into capillaries, whereas the veins are formed by the union of the capillaries. The veins are formed by the union of the capillaries. So the vein originates from a capillary, while the artery ends in a capillary. That's the normal definition of an artery and a vein. But on the other hand, a portal vein is the one that begins as well as ends in capillary. So the name portal itself suggests that it is going via the blood from the organs of the digestive system, especially the stomach and the intestine, does not directly mix with the rest of the venous blood present in the inferior vena cava, which is being returned back to the right atrium. Instead, the blood from these major digestive organs, that is stomach and the small intestine, is first sent to the liver for processing of any processing of nutrients, any toxins, pharmaceutical agents, etc. Only after thorough processing, that blood is then finally allowed to mix with the rest of the venous blood and then return to the heart. So the blood vessel that you see highlighted in pink right now, all the blood vessels, overall, these are a component of your hepatic portal circulation. Now, the main component of the hepatic portal circulation is, of course, the hepatic portal vein, which you all can see here is highlighted in pink. Now, this hepatic portal vein is formed from the union of the splenic vein and the superior mesenteric vein. At grade 10 level, you're not expected to know these names. What you can know is there are blood vessels coming from the stomach and the small intestine, the veins from these two organs, that join to form the hepatic portal vein, which enters the liver. Now, as soon as this hepatic portal vein will enter the liver, it will break up into capillaries. So as I told you at the start, that a portal vein begins as well as ends in a capillary network. The liver will assess all the nutrients and the rest of the blood for toxins and pharmaceutical agents and other unwanted substances. And finally, the processed blood is then released from the liver via the hepatic vein. So hepatic vein originates from the liver and joins into the inferior vena cava. So the next structure that I'll be highlighting to you all is the hepatic vein. What you see on your screen right now is the right hepatic vein. And the next that I'll display to you all is the left hepatic vein. Now, these two hepatic veins will then join and drain the blood from the liver into the inferior vena cava. So the next structure that I'll be showing you all is the inferior vena cava. So you all can see here, the inferior vena cava receives the blood from the right as well as from the left hepatic vein. And then this venous blood is then carried back by the inferior vena cava towards the heart. So here we have studied about the hepatic portal vein and the hepatic vein. The third component of hepatic circulation that we are now left with is the hepatic artery. Now, hepatic artery is a branch of the aorta. The descending aorta branches to give rise to the hepatic artery. So that will be the next structure that I'll highlight on my screen now. Now what you see here in pink, highlighted a small vessel here, just branching out near the liver, is the hepatic artery. That's the common hepatic artery, which will then go on to branch and form the right and the left hepatic artery. So I'll just highlight the left hepatic artery. There you go. And you also have the right hepatic artery. So I'll just highlight the right hepatic artery as well. Sorry. That's there on your screen now. The right hepatic artery, seen in pink, faintly behind here. I can just show that here, yes. So you can clearly see this. That's the right hepatic artery. And a while ago, you just saw the left hepatic artery as well. So the hepatic artery is a branch from the aorta. Now, as far as the hepatic artery is concerned, it carries oxygenated blood, okay, from the left ventricle of the heart and supplies oxygen to the various tissues present within the liver. So this is in short about the hepatic circulation. Yes. Now coming to the components of the renal circulation, the renal artery and the renal vein. What you see highlighted on your screen right now currently is the left renal artery, which branches out from the dorsal aorta. And I'll now even highlight the right renal artery as well. Here you can see the right renal artery entering into the right kidney at the notch, which is called as the hilum. Now coming to the renal veins. So first highlighting the left renal vein, which exits the kidney, left kidney from the notch, that is the hilum, and drains the blood into the inferior vena cava. Whereas now coming to the right renal vein, which exits from the right kidney and again joins into the inferior vena cava. So these are the four main components of your renal circulation: the right and the left renal artery, the right and the left renal vein. The renal artery is carrying oxygenated blood, but also the blood that is containing a lot of nitrogenous waste and unwanted substances to be filtered by the kidney. And the blood, once filtered, is returned back to the body via the renal veins. So that's the purpose, or that's the function of the renal circulation in brief. Now we come to the next part, that is the pulmonary circulation.